Hmm. Ninja Gaiden Sigma on the PlayStation 3. This is the somewhat infamous PlayStation 3 port of the Xbox, the original Xbox game that Tecmo released back in the early 1990s. I say infamous because this was a game that contained balance changes apparently that were not original, that were not in the original Xbox game. I want to say the fans of this game are implying that there were fewer enemies on screen, and there might be a few other changes that are less than desirable for a certain group of people. I believe the Xbox version was harder, and the PlayStation 3 version is slightly easier. So this game got re-released in January of 2025 on PC, I want to say. And some people are mad because it's like, yeah, it's not the version we wanted. It's a good game, but it's not the preferred version of the game. So I guess I don't want to compare it to the Super NES version of Final Fight. I guess you could compare it to the Genesis version of Final Fight. The Sega CD version of Final Fight is not the ideal version of Final Fight, and if you released a remaster of Final Fight based on the Sega CD version, arcade fans would be mad because they preferred the arcade game over the Sega CD version. So I guess that's the logic. I played this game on the original Xbox when it launched. I sold it several decades ago because I remember at the time I was really frustrated with the camera, and I played this game for about half an hour without doing commentary. The camera is going to be a problem because this game is sort of doing a Devil May Cry thing where there are a lot of fixed camera angles, but where there are a lot of fixed camera, so your character moves from fixed camera angle to fixed camera angle. Some of those camera switches, some of those camera shot switches are jarring. And there will be multiple instances in this game where I will have a hard time keeping up with what's going on because enemies will appear. Enemies will attack you from off screen because the camera isn't keeping up with where the enemies are. And the action's so frenetic that it's going to be kind of hard to keep track of things. So this is a research stream. Well, I'll play along as I go. I'm not. This isn't going to be a deep cut. I'll do practice runs later. This is a game that's interesting, but the camera is almost a deal breaker. Again, this is the pre-Arkham City, pre-Blades of Time, pre-Bayonetta camera control system. So we're dealing with a game that was part of an era where developers were still figuring out how to wrangle their game cameras. There's still dual stick controls here, and that's good. But the camera is still too unwieldy, and that's going to be a problem. You might be able to deal with it. I'll be the first person to admit I was able to somewhat deal with it. And if you practice the game, you'll be able to practice, how to wrangle the camera. But I'm just being real. People who will not concede that the camera is very unwieldy are not being honest, and they need to keep it real. You can get over it. Like you might be able to deal with it. But I think it's fair to say we have to be able to concede that this game would be improved if this had a more manageable camera. But obviously a lot of people got muscle memory attached to their experience with this game, so changes like that are probably going to make people mad. My argument is that this is a game from the mid 2000s and it shows. So prepare for that before you get too invested. Like I know a lot of people are going to want to spend a couple dozen dollars on this game because it's so highly regarded. Sample it if you can. See if you can deal with the camera, you'll be good. But don't let anyone try to tell you that the game's camera is not a problem because it means they're not it means they're basically just ignoring a known issue with this game. So the game is hard enough, but the camera doesn't make it any easier to manage. So fair warning there. But again, the action is incredibly over the top. So there's a lot of joy to be had in the combat in this game if you're able to wrangle the camera. So for this research stream, I'll see how I'll capture my reaction to the first hour of the game basically. Again, I did manage to play this game for about half an hour. I'm just trying to get a feel for it. But I know now this game might be good, but it's also clearly going to be a problem for me. Basic combo. You can also run up the wall. The game will explain that later. If you jump off the wall, you can press the square button to do a homing attack on an enemy that one shots or two shots most enemies. You might want to abuse this because a lot of people have a lot of fun with this particular move. And I want to say there's also an Azuna drop that I believe is a spinning pile driver. I don't know where it is. I'll check out the manual. There are technique scrolls you can pick up that will explain certain maneuvers. I know some of the maneuvers, but the idea is that as you play, you'll learn more about the game. Like this move right here, this running jump with the square button. Yeah, that spinning move is a swallowtail, I think. It's a move you'll learn. It's one of the first moves you'll learn. But again, the ability to jump off that wall and do that homing attack is going to be a massive help if you can master it. And again, if you're able to wrangle the game's camera so that that move becomes more manageable, then this game gets a lot easier and a lot more pleasant to play. Because you're less likely to die if you're able to avoid enemies by going vertical. Again, I've said this before. I've said this on this channel before. I'm a massive fan of Blades of Time on the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360 and PC. And that game did a very good job of encouraging you to go vertical when enemies right in front of you are going to be a threat. This game kind of has the same vibe. Again, this is a game from the Did I miss something here? Yeah, I like being able to jump off a bamboo wall. It's kind of hilarious. And you can do a jump. You can run. You can run alongside the wall. The game will explain that later. And if you press the jump button, you'll do a backflip off the wall. So the traversal in this game is very, very good. I'm glad they invested so much time in, making the traversal really intricate. So I appreciate that a lot. It's one of the reasons why the game's so highly regarded, I would argue. Because of all the ways you can interact with the environment. It's not just a game where you mash the buttons. Not be the first to concede. Blades of Time doesn't do that. So the game allows you to abuse the environment in a lot of interesting ways. And and it encourages a lot of creativity in the combat too. So again, this is the kind of game that's gonna be mad fun for a lot of people as they kind of experiment with what the game's trying to do. I personally think it's way better than Devil May Cry, which I just thought got boring. There's a lot of player expression in Devil May Cry's combat, but the main problem I have with it is that the camera controls were way too rigid. And in other words, the camera controls were way too frustrating because you're constantly shifting between fixed camera angles. The camera angles are often poorly chosen given the kind of combat you were doing in that game. So you'll get attacked off. You'll switch from one side of the screen to the other because the camera will just flip on you because you hit one of those triggers for the camera switch, and it gets really frustrating when combat gets really heated. So again, for people of a certain era, they dealt with it, but my argument is it's one of the reasons why people hate that game or they dislike the game's combat because the camera controls are so terrible. You can run up the wall, bounce off, then bounce off again. So like Batman on the NES, except the more responsive controls for the wall jump. Even Warframe doesn't do that. Now again, this game's from the early 2000s, so one of the things you'll probably notice is that the arenas are rather small and cramped. Again, this is not unusual for a game of the PlayStation 2 GameCube era. Obviously the original Xbox had a lot of did I just avoid him entirely? But you can see the pacing of the game being similar to Devil May Cry here, because you'll open a chest and it'll cut to a shot of the item you just picked up. So stuff like that. Whoops, whiffed on that. You can also press the triangle button for a launcher, and you can stab enemies once they hit the ground, which is always nice. So yeah, you could definitely speedrun this game. This would be dope. So yeah, I'm sure the speedruns of this game are phenomenal, but there are going to be parts of the game where it's going to be hard to keep up because again, the action's so frenetic, and the camera is just so bizarre. The camera is kind of hard to corral. It's like herding cats. It's a shame. So we one-shotted those guys. We're taking some dumb hits. We can heal ourselves eventually. I love how you can bounce off of enemies' heads. That's amazing. Bad balls. See, this game's got the juice. Again, they're doing a Devil May Cry thing, except the action's a lot smoother. The action's a lot faster. Check this out. Love that. So again, this game's got the juice. You just need to be able to deal with the camera. And it's a shame to keep mentioning that, but it's like I have to It's like I have to concede that's going to be a problem because there are going to be several parts of this game where it gets really hard, and you have these really cramped spaces with the camera that's constantly moving around. So it's going to be hard to keep track of all of that. It looks like I lost the video. So don't worry, we got it back. Don't worry. Triangle. And while they're on the ground, you can press the triangle button to do a ground stab. See? That's a finishing move. So practice those moves because those seem to be the most useful ones. I'm sure some fans will show some other moves that are useful in specific situations. But the moves I'm pulling off, the bouncing off the wall with the homing attack is going to be very useful. Wasn't there a block button? No. So it's R1 to rotate the camera behind you. That's going to be interesting. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I'm curious if people can make sense of that. This is a kind of a maze, so be careful. Like I said, very cramped space here, so be careful. The camera's going to be a slight problem, so you don't accidentally switch to a different room. The enemies will not follow you. But yeah, you're going to have to wrangle this camera a little bit in this room. But as long as I'm on the move, I should be fine. Did he block that? I think there's a way to attack multiple enemies at once, but this seems to work. Triangle. I want to get vertical if I can. All right, so we're good. Again, very cramped space. You'll accidentally switch rooms in this section, so be careful. This happened to me multiple times. It's kind of frustrating. There are several areas of the game where there are trap doors that will drop you to a lower area, so be careful there. And, yeah, there's more than one door here. Okay, yeah, see these guys again. Yeah, I got one of them. We good? Again, the camera being what it is, you can't really see people coming up from behind you. So that's kind of frustrating. So again, you got to practice because the game will throw a lot of annoyances in your face because again, enemies will sneak up on you from off camera. Final Fight had that problem kinda, but again, that was a 2D belt scroller, so it wasn't too hard to keep track of enemies that were off screen usually. But yeah, you're not supposed to stay close to the sides of the screen in Final Fight for that reason. Because enemies will sneak up behind you and whack you and hit you from behind if you stay too close to the sides of the screen. I want to say modern Final Fight clones and modern brawlers kind of get around that by programming enemies to not attack you if they're off screen. But what they'll do is they're more likely to dodge your attacks and then sneak up behind you while they're off screen. So they're more likely to do some I think the best way to describe it is they're more likely to reveal themselves before they attack. So you can attack enemies while they're off screen, but the game kind of gets around it by having them dodge you while you're off screen, I think. I forget exactly how Final Fight does it, but I want to say some later brawlers, what they do is they keep enemies, they program enemies to not be too aggressive with you if they're off the screen. So they'll circle around you if they're off screen. I guess you could say they might get speed boosts. I got a thing. So we're doing Devil May Cry puzzles now. Was there another interaction part? There it is. That's the door, okay. Again, a lot of this game's design makes sense if you've played Devil May Cry before. Here we go. There is a slit in the wall that will take us to another room right there behind us. So I can try to go around there. So let's jump through that. What? Okay, that was good. He didn't attack me. I want to see the enemies constantly spawn here. Okay, see if we can get out of here. There's a trap door over there. Avoid the trap door. I think he blocked. The enemies here will drop health pickups. But I want to say they spawn. There are a lot of enemies spawn here. So this might be a place to farm. This might be a place to farm gold. Got me. Yeah, that's good. Get out of here. Excuse me. Okay, I'm supposed to be able. How do I get through there? There's a door right there. How do I get through it? There it is. So you made it out the door. Okay, again, very, very bizarre camera choice there. But again, there's a trap door right in front of that slit in the wall, so that's going to be very annoying. I dropped down it several times. And there are bats down there that will attack you. You probably saw this is a save area, so that's good. There are bats down there that will attack you. You probably saw the meme on Twitter where Itagaki, the guy behind Dead or Alive, made a joke about, look, this is an action game. Why should there be an enemy out there? Why should there be an enemy in a game that doesn't attack you? So even the bats will attack you, because like I said, the meme. In an action game, everything should serve a purpose, and the purpose should be action. We're not doing Ma here. We're not doing Ma here. We're doing like brutal slaughter, unrelentless slaughter. Now, sure, if Warframe was like this, people might like this game more, but I would prefer the camera. I would prefer the camera be a bit more cooperative. How many continues are there? I'll figure it out. So yeah, I think this game has a lot of potential. It's just that I have to be able to wrangle the camera. And that's going to be a deal breaker for a lot of people. I'm willing to concede that. I can see a person not wanting to play this game because, I mean, Bayonetta, the problem isn't the camera. The problem is usually, how do you feel about the combat? Yeah, either room is fine. I don't know which waypoint has more health. We'll find out. I thought there was more than one difficulty. I think you have to play through the game to unlock more difficulty levels. Give me a second. I do have the manual here. Again, it's complete in box. Again, this is old school, back in the 2000s. Video game, the early PlayStation 3, the PlayStation 3 games came with manuals usually. I want to say in the mid 2010s they stopped including manuals in most games. Careful! Ow! And he got me. So how much health do I have left? They're taking me out in 3 hits. I guess I thought I had half my health. I mean, there are what is it? There are healing items. I'll use those later. I was just trying to hoard those. Because again, it's a game where you want to be able to get through the game without using too many healing items. You want to perfect your runs. You know how it is. You want to be able to survive most of these areas. Yeah, I know. I took too many hits. So I can't load here, can I? Okay. So there are a couple of ways I can do this. Can't delete that. Let's see if I can heal myself in this room. See, again, don't fall down that door. I think that guy takes 2 diving attacks. Yeah, you can't decapitate him right away. Well, I think I decapitated 2 of them right there. Yeah, a couple of these. I think the white guys will heal me. I guess they're white mages, like Snake Eyes. Actually, they're like Storm Shadow. Okay, so I did get a healing item, so that's good. That's not good. That's not good. That's not good. Gonna need another healing item. I thought I did a triangle. I thought I did a triangle attack. What the heck? So do I have unlimited? Do I have unlimited lives? That'd be good to know. If I have unlimited continues, I'm fine with that. But yeah, the idea might be to like get through the area with as much health as you can, heal yourself, then save. But again, it would be nice if I could like sneak through those slits in the wall without having to worry about avoiding a trap door or like the idea is that you have to get the enemies out of your face. But again, yeah, these camera shifts are very annoying. So you're gonna have to most of the skill issue in this game is being able to deal with the camera shifts, which is usually not a problem in these modern combat games. I would argue. And again, having all these cramped spaces is not. Yeah, again, the camera. Again, having all these cramped spaces isn't amazing either. Blocked it. No health. There's the health. Okay, I gotta get out of here. He's gonna take my health. Yeah, careful! Ah! I hate that. So again, stuff like this, and then deal with the trap door. Oh, give me the loot. Fangs of the Samurai. What are we dealing with here? I don't see Fangs of the Samurai. Yeah, what Fangs of the Samurai? What are we doing here? Oh, there it is. Part of a ceremony. Oh, so I have to put it inside the statue. Okay, that's probably what I needed. All right. I think we're doing all right now. There are more guys up here. Be careful. Hold on, we got a thing up here. Yeah, you can use the D-pad to like switch items. The problem is I don't know which item is my healing item. 551, but the question is which items are the ones I need. But I want to say those fangs are for the statue. 5 of those, 1 of those. So I can heal myself with this, but I'd rather get the healing item from the. So we can kill some enemies to get some healing items. Careful. Careful. I get to heal, so I gotta heal. Okay, let's get out of here. I gotta get to the save spot from here. Just a second. Tells me. So I think when I die, I respawn on the spot. Let's see. Yep. Respawn on the spot. Respawn on death. Technique scroll. So I got my sword. So when I'm jumping towards the enemy, I can press the triangle button. Like this. I guess that's what they meant. Lies of 1,000 gods. Which extends my health, I believe. Yep. So that gives me a longer health bar. Up in the top left-hand corner of the screen. There it is. So I'll save this, but I can heal myself later. How do we get out of here? Okay, this is where I was. All right. That's right. I have the fangs. I have the fangs. I have the fangs. Yeah, there we go. So give me the loot. Yeah, Devil May Cry crap. Nope. Opens the door. Okay, so I need that to get to. I think I need that to get past the boss. To get to the boss that's outside the door. Excuse me. Open the door. Okay, we're leaving, Drake. Okay, we're out of here. Okay, hold on. Let's get over here. Now what? Yeah, I don't know what that was about, but here we are. But I got the save spot, so we're good. All right. Fantastic. So that's a good run, I'd say. Back to Ninja Gaiden Sigma, the first video, the research stream on the PlayStation 3. Well, I managed to get a longer health bar, so that's good. So let's do this business. Because we have a key that we need. There was a statue earlier, and I got a key that I can use. The key of courage should get me into the door that's beyond the bridge over here. Heads up. Missed. Darn it. Trying to hit with the triangle button while he's on the ground. There we go. Again, the camera is really weird. I'm not a fan. I mean, I'll muck around with it to make it work, but the camera is not the camera is not amazing. It's a shame. I wonder again. It's the kind of thing where I would wonder. It's the kind of thing where it makes me wonder if they would, if they could find a way to fix this camera. There's a Twitter thread where the poster implies that this game is running original Ninja Gaiden code, and then the Unreal Engine is just used for displaying the graphics. The problem being that if you want to fix the camera, you're going to have to go in there and muck with the original code. And oh, by the way, the game is like 86 gigabytes because they took all the old assets and made them work in 4K, which raises the obvious argument. These assets were like what 580? They're like 540p or something. So they weren't like high definition textures, but for some reason, I don't blame them for trying to make all the textures in 4K. But it's just this whole mentality that the way that you make a game, like my argument is make 4K. My argument is make 4K textures an option. So if you want to download like a 30 gigabyte game, that might be better. But if you're, whoop, how you want to do this? Yeah, see, I know what's up. Careful. Just keep moving. Ow, bastard. Good thing they don't hit that hard. Good thing those shurikens don't hit that hard. So I got a healing item. Again, that camera is really going to be annoying. Like, for real, though. Ow. There's a block button. I'll think about using it eventually. We'll see how it goes. Think I got them both? So I should have gotten another healing item. Yep, I got another healing item. So that's good. So you can see right here I have 4 healing items. I thought I had 5. I thought I had 5 healing items. Oh well. There they are. Wait, that's not it. Yeah, I do have 4 healing items. The numbers are messed up. See, I got 4 items there with a 1 and a 1. So I do have 4. I do have 2 different healing items, right? Okay, that's weird. I don't know if that's supposed to be that way because I thought I had 4 healing items. That's a full healing item. Bizarre. Yeah, that's my shuriken. My shuriken's free. I guess there's no icon that says how many shurikens I have. So these are all the doors, right? Yeah. Guess we're going up here. Okay, how we doing? Yeah, this is the guy. This is the guy that mucked me up when I first rented the game on launch. Yeah, this guy's a massive skill check. He's gonna be a problem. Hey, heads up! Ow, 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 ow! I can block. Just keep it in mind. Okay, can't do the launcher. I can't do the launcher. God, this camera's so crap. Triangle. Triangle. Again, a modern game would make this camera a lot better. This is... Careful. Careful. Couldn't launch him. Yeah, get out the corner. Get out the corner. Ouch. So that's my healing item. That's good. Out the corner. Did I get him? I got him. I had to eat a healing item though. That sucks. So I have to go through this stage again without using the healing item. Okay. Yeah, why did this guy give me so many problems when I was younger? He's not that hard. Maybe the camera was the problem. It took me like an hour to beat this guy when I first played this game. Yeah. Again, yeah, I remember getting. Well, it wasn't an hour. I remember getting stuck on this guy for like half an hour, and not knowing how to beat him because I couldn't practice. I don't think I was able to practice that wall attack. But now that I have that willow strike, I guess that helped me out. But yeah, I'm very curious why the Xbox version gave me so many problems. Because I remember really, really being frustrated with this fight in the Xbox One version, in the original Xbox version. I want to say if you have Ninja Gaiden Black on the original Xbox, it's supposed to be backwards compatible with the Series X, so you should be getting 4K, 120 hertz on that game, which is what I would expect. It's Izumi. That's the no, it's Kasumi. No, Kasumi. It's what's her name from Dead or Alive. She's the Kunoichi. Not I think it's Ayumi. Yeah, it's Ayumi from Dead or Alive, which I did play on Dead or Alive 5 and 6 on this channel. I do not have the older Dead or Alive games. I don't remember them. I played them. They weren't great, but I remember playing them. They're no Virtual Fighter, but they like if you could get Dead or Alive 2 on the Dreamcast for like $10, it's probably not terrible. Yeah, so I did get to this stage. I remember getting to this stage a while ago. But I don't remember why that boss that I just beat gave me so many problems when I first played this game. So it's wild to know that I'm much better now than I was when I first played. So that's somewhat like as opposed to Dark Souls. Although I think I could. Well, I do have Dark Souls on the Xbox One. Strangely enough, Dark Souls 1 and Dark Souls 2 are both available. And Dark Souls 1 and Dark Souls 3 are both free to download in the Xbox One. So I'm probably gonna play Dark Souls again later, but because I'm somewhat more confident now than I was when I first played it, but I'm just not in the mood. So there's an argument to be made that playing a game like Dark Souls, like I can't imagine paying money for it because I did pay $13 for that game on the Xbox One disc, but I just keep getting bored with it. But if it's free, I'm more likely to come back to it. So there is that. I hope the game's saved. Well, full health, so guess I can try to save here. I'll make yeah, load times. Like I said, it's an Xbox. It's an original Xbox game. You have some old code. I forget. I want to say the PlayStation 2 had like 64 megabytes of RAM, and the original Xbox. I think the GameCube had like 96 or 80. I forget. And I want to say the original Xbox had something close to 96. Like, it was a more powerful console. I mean, the original Xbox is the most powerful console on the market at the time. But other than this game, there weren't really that many games to get people excited about it. Of course, the other thing was that, again, the whole appeal of the Xbox is that you were using DirectX. You were using the framework that would have made PC development easier. So if you were comfortable making PC games, this game or games on the Xbox would translate very easily to PCs. Because I mean, at the time, the argument was, yeah, you're making these PC games. You're using PCs to develop these games, and DirectX was supposed to make it easier for the Xbox to port games from PC. It just never really added up to much because most people weren't really impressed with the Xbox. They just didn't sell enough units. Wait, where am I going? The Xbox was a very poor seller. I mean, it was powerful, but there wasn't a whole lot of demand for games that were on. I mean, obviously everyone loved Halo and they loved this game. I think there were a couple of other games that people really liked, but most people were perfectly fine with the PlayStation 2. And of course, the PlayStation 2 had DVD functionality, so the joke was that people were buying multiple PlayStation 2s so that they can, have a DVD player in every room. So Sony won the whole. Where am I going? So the whole idea was that you could play PlayStation 4 games or PlayStation 2 games and have a DVD player for like $200, something like that. So that worked out. Yeah, they're showing. Let me see where we have to go. To Hayabusa Village. So how do I get there? Yeah, I remember really liking this song. Under the Ninja Fortress. So I can go to the Ninja Fortress, I guess. Well, I'm on the second floor, aren't I? We'll make it work. I'm an idiot. Where's the way out? Do I just go back the way I came? There we go. So I can't go this way? So I guess we'll end the video pretty soon. We just want to tease the next video. I just have to figure out where to go. So we have to go down? But again, lots of narrow corridors and small rooms because it's an Xbox game from the era. Like lots of PS2 games are the same thing. Lots of corridors. So where am I exactly? So I'm out of the inner sanctum. So I guess I'll just go to the altar. I just don't know where to go. There aren't that many places to go. You shouldn't be able to shouldn't be getting lost. This game was installed on the hard drive. Yeah, go down here. Huh. It's not down. Okay, so now what? I would still love to know where to go here. Am I just backtracking? Yeah, I want to say, wasn't there an Onimusha game on the PlayStation 2 that kind of had a similar vibe? Was it any good? I barely played it. I guess the kind of game where if I still had it in my collection, I would play it, but I don't know what to do. I mean, there are lots of old games on the PS2 I owned for like a couple of months and never really committed to playing them. Hold on. Block button? I guess I will need to block at some point. There's like a yeah, yeah, L1. Then you can use the left stick to dodge roll, which you're going to need to do in this game. So am I just backtracking this entire way? I mean, it just kind of feels like they wanted me to just go back the way I came. Oh, here's the door. Forgot about the door. Yeah, the door was already here. Okay, so I had to backtrack. Why would they make me backtrack? Yeah, it's like, why are these bats here? Well, the bats are going to attack you. That's what Itagaki said, right? It's an action game. Make everything hurt you. Make everything punish you, I suppose. Like I know Itagaki is the famed Douglas of, hardcore character action games, but at some point it's like he's just a bit much. Again, if he's such an amazing director, maybe he should have fixed it. They should have directed his camera to be be better behaved, huh? But like I said, it's like I could do Devil May Cry, and so we make this game, and it's basically Devil May Cry, and solves the problem. Uh, we'll drop again. Really bad camera. Oh, that's right. We can wall jump here. Yeah, we can wall jump here. Give me a second. We can wall run. Excuse me. You can play in first person mode for some reason. The person, I think it's kind of a flex, but whatever. Wall run over there. There we go. Again, you gotta kind of muck around with the camera to get it in the position where you need it. Again, it's a game from the 2000s, so you gotta muck with the camera. Excuse me. Careful. Suck it. Let's get out of here. Let's get to a safer place. So again, you're gonna have to deal with the camera. So make a note accordingly. Go to a place where the camera was more cooperative, till you learn how to play the game. I guess. Yeah, I remember really liking this music, so I'll record that later. Yeah, this is a game that I purchased a long time ago. I think I purchased it back in 2017 or 2018, and never got around to playing it. I was playing a bunch of PlayStation 3 games earlier this year. Like I was playing like Jackson Daxter and all that, Sly Cooper, just to kind of get it out of my system. So I might keep this game, but it's like there are a couple of other PS3 games I want to get out of my system. Like the London 2012 Olympics game that I played on this channel. Ow. Okay, I gotta jump out of here. I do like how you can like jump off their head. That's a nice touch. If you press the triangle button while they're on the ground, that's a finishing move. If you don't time it properly, you'll wind up doing a launcher instead. The launcher isn't terrible. Again, it's a vertical option in case you need to get off the ground and avoid other enemies. Because kind of like in Blades of Time, when enemies start to surround you, your best option is to go vertical. And I want to go this way. I am curious where the save spot is. I have no idea where. This might not be the right map. Yeah, some pretty decent water effects here. Again, the game always looks good. This is always one of the best looking games on the console. Like it was one of the best looking games of the generation by far. I am curious how the character models hold up. Oh, you can run on the water, yeah, which is a cute touch. So what do I have to perfect exactly? Yeah, just hold up and you'll win across the water. That's cool, I suppose. Life of the Gods, which is what exactly? Uh, it can be increased by using 9, so I need 9 of these. So I need 8 more of these to level up. Okay, fine. Hidden items, you know. Yeah, I can't break through the water. Oh well. Yeah, very good underwater effects. So yeah, definitely one of the best looking games on the console. So I am curious how people would feel about playing a modern game that looks like this that's not in 4K. Well, they did make it in 4K, but they redid all the assets in 4K using Unreal Engine 5 apparently. But the argument is that you could have made a game like this with this polygon count, and it's going to look fine. It doesn't need 4K. Like I would make that argument. Can I turn off? I can turn off the sound effects if I have to. I definitely want to get this music later. Like I said, we'll end the video pretty soon. It's just a research stream. Yeah, camera not amazing. Can't go that way. Can't go that way. Can't go that way. Was that a spin move? Oh well. So I guess we're not going back, son. And this is a pre-rendered cutscene, isn't it? So, yeah, this song too. Full member of the Hayabusa clan. Give me the loot. Cool. Oh, we got another item here. So I'm gonna need a hammer most likely. Whoop, heads up. And he's down. Who else wants some? It feels like there are other people here. There it is. Yeah, again, I knew there was someone else here. I just couldn't see him. Because a freaking camera. So I'm going to have to go to a place where I can make sure the camera's cooperative. I'm trying to stab him. I'm trying to press the triangle button to stab him, and he just does a bunch of launches. I have to see if I can cancel that combo, because if the enemy hits me with a combo, I'm dead. If the enemy hits me with that combo, I have to find a way to interrupt it. There we go. And I want to say you can bounce enemies off the wall and do some and do extra damage while they're stunned while they're stunned on the knockback. So again, lots of little touches in this game. Sit. And he's down. That's right. Come get some. Anyone else? Yeah, really good backgrounds going on here too. Statue head. Probably need it for another puzzle boss. Well, not a puzzle boss, but like a puzzle where you have to like put an item inside of a statue. It's that kind of game, isn't it? And this game does not have the statue fight, does it? I want to say there was a statue fight that got taken out of this game, which is weird because obviously God of War had a bunch of statue fights. It's like a meme. Arguably, the reason this game had a statue fight is because God of War did it. Same God of War 1 and 2 did it. It's like a whole vibe. It's a set piece that it's a very popular set piece of the era. So you got like Devil May Cry crap, God of War crap, and what else? And I should play Ninja Gaiden again on the NES Classic. I'll pull that out later. Honestly, the game's not that hard, but the final stage is apparently where everyone hates it. Because it's like, if you die during the boss, I think you're sent all the way back to the beginning of the stage, which is really bad. There are unlimited continues, but that is a really nasty waypoint. If you die at all during that fight, you're sent back a while. So the game is kind of a meme because when people say Ninja Gaiden is hard, I mean it is annoying, but it's not really that hard. It's just the end of the game is really hard because of unfavorable checkpoints. Well, Ayumi's dead. See you in Dead or Alive 3 anyway. This game came out before Dead or Alive 4, I want to say. But yeah, Dead or Alive 2 was the Dreamcast game that I played. Really good music in that one. Yeah, Dead or Alive 1 and 2 have some pretty good music. Dead or Alive 1 obviously had the Red Book soundtracks. That's pretty good. But is that a Yumi? I'm not sure. So we're not going that way. Is there someone here? I do kind of like the whole like environmental storytelling here, where you go up to the corpse, and every time you loot the corpse, there's a little. Every corpse has a story. It's a nice touch. In Skyrim, there would be stuff like what? Like what would Skyrim have? Like Skyrim would have stuff like you find a letter and you open the letter, and the letter basically serves the same purpose. You get a lot of people. Oh, well, blacksmith. Okay, just like in Devil May Cry. So we can't do that. We can buy this. We have plenty of cash. Because remember all those yellow orbs we're getting from dead enemies. That's an extra life, but it's really expensive. Replenishes key. I don't know what key is in this game. I guess they're going to explain it later. Remember, I have a manual, but I haven't really read it yet. I was assuming I wouldn't need it. We'll see how it goes. But the manual is somewhat useful because it tells you some of the moves you can do. And it tells you about the different weapons you can wield, so you want to keep that in mind. Yeah, this is a very Xbox One looking character model. Arrows for the bow. Wooden sword. Incapable of cutting attacks. So is there like a hard mode for this? So if you want to play the game with a wooden sword, that might be cool. You can do Ryu can do Hadoukens. Who knew? So we won't buy this. Isn't there something over here? No, so I guess I can't just pick these up. Oh well. We're going up. Yeah, we're going up. Like I said, we'll end the video pretty soon. It's just a research stream anyway. So I know I could do a better run later if I play this game. He already came here, so what's the plan? Can't cut that. Again, very small areas, very confined, very claustrophobic. It is what it is. Old school. Yeah, masking load times. Heads up. Press the triangle button during the jump. Got him. Again, I can totally see why people are into this. Because, I mean, like, the action is really, really brutal and relentless. Unlike a lot, it's even unlike Devil May Cry 5, which I tried to play. I tried playing this game multiple times on this channel. Dead or Alive just got really boring to me really fast. I was hoping that it would like, kind of reveal itself more quickly, but it's a kind of a slog to get past the first hour and a half of the game. So I bought it and I tried playing it for a couple of hours. I said I'm waiting for this game to get good. I just couldn't be bothered. The game looks really interesting later on, but you have to grind through so much of it. It's frustrating. Again, it's just too much of a slow boil for an action game like that. There are too many good action games out there. So I guess at some point I'll be able to unlock the fun part of the game. I don't know. Remember, we have the triangle button during a jump. But again, you gotta deal with the camera. So plan accordingly. Yeah, triangle jump. Jump then triangle seems to work. Now, bastard. I think I got him. Block that. I think he blocked that. Hey! Got him. I guess they wanted me to use the bow. I don't know. But he's off the horse. He's out. Come get me. More guys? Careful. Yeah, you got me. We'll end the game pretty soon, but so we get the idea. We know the kind of game this is. So yeah, if I can deal with the camera, this game might be fine. But yeah, I am I am not happy with the camera. You can say whatever you want about the remaster being based on this Sigma variant of Ninja Gaiden. It's like a comic book, I guess. You got variants. This Sigma variant of Ninja Gaiden is somewhat infamous in the community among the fans. I don't like the camera, and the camera is not a deal breaker, but it makes the game way more frustrating. If this had a good camera, this game could be a classic. As it is, you're gonna have to invest in like making this blasted game a bit more manageable. So yeah, if you can manage the camera, it's probably a classic. Ow! Careful! Disappeared. There's one more dude. Where'd he go? Where's the fireball thrower? There he is. That's not him. Ow! Again, the camera's going to be a problem. I have to go to a place where I can deal with that camera. So we'll end the video soon. This is the research stream for Ninja Gaiden Sigma on the PlayStation 3. I'm playing with component video 720p. The component video is plugged into the GameStop Game On component to HDMI converter. That converter is plugged into a J5 Create 4K capture device. That 4K capture device is plugged into my quad-core Gateway Silver Windows 10 laptop. The camera app capturing this footage at 60 frames a second at 720p. But again, getting the component video to work. I don't know if this is RGB or YPBPR. I can probably just double check. Give me a second. There might be a way to find out. Give me a moment. I just want to document this because again, I'm not complaining about the input latency. I'm playing this on a Best Buy television in game mode. Input latency is fine. And the game looks good on this It's a $50 TV, but the game looks good on this TV. So if you're worried about input latency in a game like this, I guess it might matter to you, but I am doing reasonably I'm doing reasonably well with this television. So whatever so again the game this component YPBPR whatever converter seems to be doing fine. Yeah, we got the full RGB going on. So we're not using the YPBPR, I guess. Yeah, we're doing 720p. I thought there was an easy way for me to see if I'm actually outputting in YPBPR. I guess I am. Because when I play the 476, I have to see if there's a custom firmware for this. But yeah, I have to see. By the way, I'm playing this on a hard drive. I installed the game onto the hard drive. It takes about half an hour, I want to say. I guess it improves the load times when I'm skipping in between sections. That's cool. But yeah, I'm playing with this game on component to HDMI converter that I got from GameStop. And again, the input latency seems perfectly fine, so I'm happy. I know people are very like precious about input latency on some of these converters, but I'm not expert level, but I'm good. I'm comfortable enough playing games like this where the input latency itself is not the problem. It's the camera. So I'm not going to be that guy. I'm perfectly fine with the input latency on this device. So again, what would be a better test than Ninja Gaiden Sigma? Let's be honest. I think this game runs at about 55 frames a second. There might be some screen tearing in certain sections. You think a PlayStation 3 would run an Xbox game, an original Xbox game at 60 frames a second at 720p? Because I want to say the original Xbox game was 480i, or it might have been 480p. But then they made it widescreen, so I guess we did all right. So yeah, I'll play more of this later. I'll play Ninja Gaiden 2 Sigma a bit later, but if I can make this camera work, then we'll see how it goes. But I'm gonna keep mentioning that because I don't want. I'm never going to avoid that particular issue because this stuff like this is the reason why I gave up on God Hand about 2 decades ago. Even though I owned that game and I really wanted to like it, Urban Reign sounded promising. The camera was really frustrating. So we're in the era of your Arkham Cities and your Shadow of Mordors and your Blades of Times. And games like that, and your Yakuza, if you're into Yakuza, and those games basically prove that you can do like melee combat with a manageable camera. And this game isn't doing that. I do have some remastered. I have Yakuza 1, 3, Yakuza Kiwami 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I don't have Like a Dragon. I used to have Judgment. Well, I'll play those later on this channel. I'll have to get Lost Judgment eventually because that game has Master System games. So I want to be able to play more Master System games on this channel because I don't want to buy a power-based converter for my Genesis Model 1, and I don't want to play a bunch of. I don't want to buy a bunch of Master System games. I really don't, honestly. I'm not really that into Master System games, or at least they don't seem to. They don't. In other words, given the prices they're charging for them, they don't seem that interesting. So yeah, I don't see the point of investing in a power-based converter. But I guess if I have enough store credit, I might pick one up just for funsies. If I can get if I can get a decent Master System collection, that would be fun. Because I'm a fan of backwards compatibility in the hardware generally, so I'm usually okay with that. So we'll be back to Ninja Gaiden Sigma on the PlayStation 3. Video number 1 is done.